Hello all and welcome to the Game Recommender channel. If there's one thing that is important in platformer games, it has to be the level design. If platformer games don't have good level design, then that could make a game either really easy and boring or insanely hard for the completely wrong reasons. This is why platformers like Shovel Knight and Celeste just work, because they have incredibly good level design. But I'm not here to talk about level design in those games. Today, I'm here to talk about level design in a little hidden gem of a game called Tamiku. Tamiku is a game that sees you going through a variety of Donkey Kong-like stages as you pop balloons. Blue balloons will pop by just running into them, and red balloons require a bit of button mashing. What makes Tamiku a good game are its stages. No, there's not a lot of them, but all of them have some sort of difference in them that make them just so memorable and fun to play in. So today, I'll be ranking all of Tamiku's 8 stages from worst to best. Before I start though, let me just say that I don't hate any of these stages. They're all brilliant in some sort of way. Even the stage at last I don't hate, I just dislike it a little bit. Oh, and if you're wondering, I'll be seeing how good every stage is by design, enemy types and music. Now that we've covered all the boring stuff, let's begin. In my 8th spot, we have Underground Garden, the 3rd stage of the game. By design, Underground Garden doesn't really look the greatest. Its colours are really dark and dull, which is really weird considering that the rest of the levels are a lot more jolly and colourful. The enemies aren't really anything special either. These ducks are just reskins from the first level. There are some new enemies like these blue things at the side of the level that go up and down, and there's this red guy at the top, but that's really all. The music here though is an absolute bop, and probably the best piece of music in the entire game, which I guess is what stops me from hating this level and instead slightly disliking it. At 7th place is Thief's Mine, the 5th level of the game. There's nothing I really dislike about Thief's Mine, it's just sort of there. The enemies here are minecarts except for this green guy in the middle, but I'll get to him later. The minecarts will go in one direction, and that kind of makes them a bit too easy. You can always just go to the other end of the screen and back out the other side without having to jump up onto another platform, which just makes them easier than they should be. The guy in the middle, though, is a bit better in my opinion. He'll move horizontally on the middle platform, but at certain times, he'll pause and fire out a green blob at you. He was obviously put here just to make the level more challenging, but I would have preferred it if the minecart switched direction. Like Underground Garden, it's a very dark level, which doesn't contrast very well with all the other colourful and jolly levels of the game. Its music is okay. I don't really mind it, but it isn't the best. Up next, in 6th place, is Monster's Cave, the 8th level in the game. It's a shame that the game had to end on a level like this. I really don't like this level's design. All of these dark colours just don't capture the cheeriness of what Tamiku's all about. To be fair though, the enemies here are fine. There's these blobs at the top, bottom and middle which go in one direction and float around. There's this mage that'll pause and zap you, a bit like the middle enemy in Thief's Mine. And there's this mummy which just acts as a reskin of the first level enemies. The music here I don't really like. It feels too slow for a final level musical piece. It should be fast paced and energetic. Taking the number 5 spot is Bombfield, the 5th level of the game. Once again, I don't really dislike Bombfield, it's just here. But don't get me wrong, it's definitely better than Thief's Mine and Monster's Cave, mostly due to its way better enemies. First of all, there's this bomb that can come out of anywhere and just explode, which I thought added some challenge to the stage and it was a fun gimmick. Then we have enemy reskins from the first level, which I don't mind too much because the level isn't mostly made up of them, unlike Underground Garden. And finally, there's these weird robot things that will be placed on the platforms with walls in the middle. They'll move in one direction until they hit the wall in the middle and go the other way. What I thought was interesting about these guys was the spaces they were put in, which I thought added some challenge. The stage's design isn't too bad either. I mean, it's not my favourite, but it's a lot more colourful and jolly than the past 3 levels I've mentioned. The music here, though, is the worst in the game. It's just annoying as hell to me, and I don't know why. Next up, we have Whiteland, the 4th level in the game. Just before I say anything about this level, I do have to say that this level has one of the best names for a snow theme level, hands down. Now, all jokes aside, I really like the snow theme design of the level. It just looks so damn cute and festive. The enemies here are okay, I'd say. You have your standard reskins of the first level enemies, but then you have these snowballs which I really think add to the level's charm and personality. Not only that, but it gives me really big Donkey Kong vibes, and that's cool. And yeah, the music isn't my favourite by any means, but the enemies and the level's snow theming totally make up for that. Up next is Barrel Factory, the 1st level in the game. This feels like it shouldn't be as high as it is in my list, but it is, and I can give you a lot of reasons why. Its design is colourful and cheery, really setting the tone for a good game here. The enemies don't really do much other than go left and right, but you know, I can excuse that, considering that this is the 1st level in the game, unlike you, Underground Garden. It does also have this one enemy that will pop out of the barrels below and go up screen, adding some difficulty to the stage, which is really what I like to see. And the music here is one of my favourites in the game. It's upbeat, energetic, and like the design, really sets the tone for a good game here. Taking second place is Limbo Maze, the 2nd level in the game. It's weird how this level is one of the harder levels in the game, with it being only the 2nd level and all. Its design is quite dull to be honest, but with it contrasting with the colourful enemies, it makes for a pretty cool looking stage. As for the enemies, we have these orange squids that move up and down, and then this one red squid. This squid will move up and down the platforms, trying to chase you, and when it gets to panic mode, my god, you better get your running shoes on, because this guy will be coming at you faster than the speed of light. The music here, whilst not one of my favourites, is also pretty good. And finally, taking the number 1 spot, being my favourite level of Tamiku, is Deviland Park. There's not really a lot that I can say about the design and music, they're honestly kind of meh to me. But what really makes this level the absolute champion that it is are the enemies. You have green blobs that are reskins of enemies from the 1st level. You have pink blobs that do the same thing as the weird robot enemies from Bombfield. You have this skeleton at the bottom who will throw bones vertically at you. And most importantly, you have Count Darkula. He'll chase you around the stage in whatever direction he wants and will occasionally pause and zap you. He made this level way more of a fun challenge that it had any right to be. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure that Count Darkula has his own game called, well, Count Darkula. Unfortunately, I can't find the game because I'm pretty sure it's only on PC. Pretty much, it's like Tamiku, but you go around smashing light bulbs instead of popping balloons. This skeleton at the bottom also appears in the game, and I think that Count Darkula and the skeleton are both cool references to add to Tamiku. There you go, that is all of Tamiku's stages ranked. In all honesty, Tamiku is a great game, probably the best that Retallica Games has ever put out. If you're still watching, then thanks, your support to the channel is always appreciated. If you have watched this far though, and aren't subscribed, then please do consider so. It really helps out me and the channel, so that I can make even better content for you guys. Also, remember to drop a like, and if you want, comment what your favourite level in Tamiku is, whether you've only seen them through my video, or have actually played the game. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.